If you would like to support our channel, our Patreon and merch store is in the descriptions below.
Randy.
Now, Abduct is a 2025 psychological horror movie that tells the story of how a woman who's on a mountain getaway has her life turned upside down when her boyfriend disappears at night, but only to have a naked stranger show up at her door the next morning, claiming to be him.
I didn't know, I was eating some fucking Cocoa Puffs and this motherfucker comes in.
And here are 5 reasons you should watch this movie. Reason number 1, Emma.
Just, am I at a police station? Or am I at fucking Disneyland?
So Emma is a young woman who recently discovered that she's pregnant by her boyfriend, Chris. Though they are in love, Chris doesn't want to have children at the moment, and he and Emma are sort of stuck as to where their relationship should go next. But after leaving for a getaway in the mountains with their friends, now worried, she's beginning to freak out.
Oh my god, Chris!
Reason number 2, Chris.
I have cherophobia.
It's not a thing.
I believe the greatest actress in the world is Callista Flockhart, and I can break glass with my voice.
So Chris is the boyfriend of his beautiful girlfriend, Emma. Now he and Emma goes on a trip to Santa Clarita to stay at a friend's parents' home to get away from the struggles of life. But while there, everyone's drinking and perhaps Chris gets a bit too much in him, because while he and Emma is in the bedroom, he's anxious to try to have a child. But Emma, knowing that it's just the alcohol talking, understand that Chris wants to be financially stable and married before having children. So she refuses to tell him that she's already pregnant. But a minor argument about the situation leads to Chris to take a walk outside. But while taking that walk, he notices some strange alien-like lights and noises. So he goes to check it out. And that's the last we see of Chris. Reason number 3, Chris number 2.
I'm Chris, Randy.
Now, aptly named Chris number 2 because the next morning, while everyone is worried about Chris number 1 not coming back to the house, this strange dude who is completely naked shows up and barges into the house. But he is claiming to be Chris number 1. After being knocked out, subdued, and questioned by Emma, Randy, Bars, and Patrick, Chris number 2 convinces everyone that he's actually Chris number 1. And just when you think we're closer to the solution, that's when things gets a little more interesting.
Keep it no thank you. You're trying to brainwash me. Hard pass.
Reason number 4, drug dealers.
Open the door.
Apparently we have drug dealers in this movie, but where do they come from? It appears that Randy, of all people, are strapped for cash and needed to make some quick money. So he started selling ecstasy and storing them inside of ibuprofen bottles. Now, 3 key things start to happen. So Bars, who is a recovering addict, gets a hold of the X thinking it's ibuprofen, but this causes him to run off in the desert naked, and then he has to be brought back to the house by the police. Then the drug dealers show up to recoup the ecstasy and holds everyone in the house at gunpoint while they take their drugs that Randy owes them. And finally, the officer who brought Bars back comes back to the house to see if everything's okay, because everyone was looking strange and acting funny when he showed up. And those things lead us to reason number 5. Reason number 5, the truth.
Relax, Emma, relax.
Get off me, you fuck!
After convincing everyone that he's Chris number 1, Chris number 2's facade is torn down when the investigating officer come back to the home to grill him. But this leads to Chris number 2 to attack the officer, attack Randy and Bars, and even kidnap Emma. Oh, and he also murders Patrick and the drug dealers who had just come back for the rest of their drugs. So we quickly find out that Chris number 2 had been following both Chris and Emma, learning them, studying them, and he was the one behind Chris number 1's disappearance. But unbeknownst to him, Chris number 1 escapes, and this sets off a series of events that pits both men face to face in a bloody battle of who gets to live. Now in the end, Abduct is a lot better than it had any business being. Based on its packaging, it comes across like this low budget, really bad effort project, but then it quickly turns into a really good time. I mean, the acting is decent, the suspense is done well, and there's enough thriller and blood that makes this movie earn its horror title. But the thing that makes 2025's Abduct work is that the first half, you're 100% sure you're watching an alien abduction movie. Then they subvert your expectation, and then it all becomes a sort of psycho thriller movie. I mean, this movie keeps you interested because the character work is good enough. You actually buy into the idea that these people are friends. Then you buy into the idea that Chris number 2 is truly who he say he is. Then you also buy into the peril that Emma goes through. I mean, the idea of not having the police help you during crisis really resonates with a lot of people. I mean, you have several branching stories, the abduction story, the idea that Chris is trying to prove himself to Emma and his friends. Then you have the drug dealers who really heightens the situation, and even the Bars and Randy relationship. I mean, you're brought into all these storylines that happen to converge in the end. Then by the time it takes you on sort of a proto-thriller ending, you're completely invested. And believe it or not, this is what helps sells this movie, because the twists and turns work to the benefit of this project. And of course, I highly recommend this movie. And until next time, when CED talks horror.